Hello, this video is going to show you how to access your Canvas, as well as if you have not already logged into your Pearson account, it will show you the steps to do your Pearson. All right. So you'll see that I am now in the student view. Depending upon the section number that you are in, you might see a little bit of differences here and there. The primary difference going to be your section number. The majority of the class will be identical with the exception of your section number and the time that we meet. This is your welcome statement. It basically pulls out the pertinent information from your syllabus, but you will have access to it every time you sign in. So it's there for you, and the purpose of it is so that if you don't want to go looking through the syllabus, the majority of what you need to know is right there. Of course, if you come into your syllabus, here's where some of the information will change section to section. Office hours are the same. What you need for this course to be successful, the MyLab access code, that is something you will have to purchase either through the Polk bookstore, or you may choose to get it directly through Pearson. The choice is yours. I'm impartial. You will also need some form of a scientific calculator. They're fairly cheap, and you can find them again either at the bookstore or on Amazon, Walmart. They don't have any graphing type components, so not a huge screen, just your regular screen, and does the basic add, subtract, multiply, divide, logarithmics, ln's, stuff that we'll be doing, but not too expensive of a calculator. Course description. What I talk about in class in person is this succeeding section. You want to read the section that we're going to be covering for class. So for instance, last week we covered 1.1 and 1.5. This coming week we'll cover 2.1, 2.2, I believe 2.3 and 2.4. You want to take your own notes, and I'll show you in a minute what I recommend for that. You want to do all of your assignments. Again, this is after we go over the lecture. And then if you need to, you can do it multiple times, because on Pearson, you're able to do that. Not missing practice time would be if we do any kind of exam review, whether in class or if I do one online. You want to make sure that you do that. You want to find at least one study partner. Given the current state of the world, you may feel better doing this part virtually, and that's perfectly fine. But you do want to find someone that you can study with outside of class in some modality or another. Communicate with me often. You can do that through either Canvas or I have my text now phone number or my Polk email. You want to analyze and understand all of your mistakes. This is really important. I spend a lot of time giving individualized feedback, so you really want to pay attention to what mistakes you're specifically making and how to fix those. This Get Help Fast, this is a link directly to your Polk Tutoring Center, so that's a great resource for you to have. Always ask questions in my class, whether we have class via Zoom or definitely when we have class in person. But on the off chance that we should have a Zoom class, make sure you're asking questions. Basic skills are essential. I take this one of two ways. One, you really need to have some basic math skills to be successful in 1033, but you also are all adults. So when you are physically in the classroom with me, you don't have to let me know when you have to go to the bathroom. You can just kind of go ahead and go to the bathroom and come back. Like I said, you're adults. Okay. You guys can read about the expectations I have for you as an entire class, as a member of the class. Basically, treat others with respect, and they'll treat you with respect, and that's just the way we're going to go with things. How will you be graded? So here's how it breaks down. We have 5 units, so each unit has a test. Each unit test is worth 15% of your grade, and the lowest exam grade will be dropped. The Pearson assignments, so that includes your homework and your quizzes, are averaged for another 15% of your grade. The remaining 25% is your final exam. So it works out like this. Top 4 exams, 60 percentage points. Assignments off of Pearson, 15 percentage points, and your final exam is 25 percentage points. Here's your general grading scale, and it's the grading scale that the math department at Polk uses. The homework and quizzes will be open on Pearson. They're available anytime, but they do have specific deadlines and closing dates, so you'll have to pay attention to that on Pearson. Also, your homework is unlimited, so you can do it as many times as you want until the homework is due. And the same goes for your quizzes. The only difference with your quizzes is that you'll have to repeat the entire quiz, and you have 3 times to do that prior to the deadline. And on a case-by-case basis, I will discuss with you if you need another attempt or if I feel the whole class deserves another attempt, which would be more likely the scenario. And in order to open your quiz, you must earn a 70% on the homework that precedes it. Okay. Exams are going to be in person and they will be paper pencil, and you are allowed to use a scientific calculator for your exam. Our course schedule, I will show you that in a minute. It is tentative to change due to time factors and other things like that. Attendance is pretty standard. If you miss more than 3 hours, then you could or may be dropped from the course, and we can always cross that bridge when we come to it. Bottom line is communicate with me and you'll probably be fine. And then your final exam will be Wednesday, December 6th in our classroom. Again, it'll be paper pencil. The big difference between the final exam and your other exams is that the final exam will always be multiple choice, and your other exams will more than likely be some form of completion. And then we do have some COVID situations, obviously due to the state of the world right now. So if there are situations with that, you can always email me and I will send you the link that you need for COVID. And then academic dishonesties, basically don't cheat and you'll be fine. Okay, that's the syllabus in a nutshell. Announcements are really important. As you can see here, it allows me to communicate with you in a way that that all of us can be on the same page, and I don't have to send you an email. And sometimes I have them set up where you can post on them, and other times I have them where it's just an announcement for you. So for this week 1 announcement, you can see that I'm reminding everyone that 1.1 and 1.5 will be recorded for review purposes, but they are due this week, Sunday at 11:59 p.m. But section 2.1 and the quiz 1 were pushed until the following week. If you go to modules for me are really important. They're where you can find all of your course material. You can see here, I wasn't able to move this in time, but I will move it and it'll come down here. Quiz 1 was moved. I apologize. I'll have to figure that out. But basically what you have here is you have your homeworks and your quizzes. I'll show you for this week. You'll have homeworks and quizzes. And then what you also have are the optional sections here. In optional stuff, you'll see our class notes. You'll see the PowerPoints, and these are all linked so that once you click them, you go to where you need to go. And then you also, sometimes they'll throw in optional exercises, and these guided notes these are what I really suggest that you guys use for your note taking at home if you're going to do any notes before class. They have you basically go over key terms. They have you do some examples and that kind of stuff. So I really think these are really, really good for you for each section as a way to get introduced to the material. Now, what's really, really important is this My Lab and Mastering. You want to click on My Lab and Mastering. All right. And then yours might look a little bit different until you link your account, but you want to click on the big yellow button and follow those directions. When you click on the big yellow button, you'll be asked to enter in a purchase code or an access code. You will not be asked for a course key code because our course is linked. That access code is the code that you will purchase. So again, you can either purchase it through the bookstore through Polk, or you can purchase it directly through Pearson. It should be about $65. I don't require the physical textbook, so this saves you about half the cost. Again, you can choose to go into assignments. I always choose to go in through, see, you can see the quiz one here for some reason didn't change. That's right. I changed them all on Pearson. I have to go through and change them on Canvas. But here you'll see that the assignments are all just jammed together. They're not really done by weeks. And I like to see mine in weeks. So, but it's completely up to you. You can change it however you like. I'm not going to click on grades because I think it just shows me as a student, but you guys can look at your own grades. And pages are nice because here's where you can find that tentative schedule. Okay. So you can see we were supposed to cover 2.1 in class last week. And that's these two assignments have both been moved to the following week, week 2. So you can see that's why it's a tentative schedule. And I'm sure we'll get right back on track with our schedule. It's just sometimes the first week can be a little bit bumpy. Okay, well, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via email or via Canvas, and I will do my best to answer any of your questions. The biggest question I get is how do I get my textbook and how do I log on to Pearson? So hopefully this video has helped you answer that. But again, I have no problems repeating that information. So if you should need it or you need a quick Zoom to be walked through those couple of steps, I'm more than willing to do that. Okay, I'll see everybody in the next video.